Haven't been out this early in a while. It is 8:47 a.m. Yesterday, I tried to film 2 vlogs to be a bit ahead of the times, you know, for Christmas. And I failed. I couldn't film a single one. So today, I thought a nice challenge for myself would be to instead try and film 4 different vlogs. Because that should be interesting. First step to everything's planning. Now, you've already seen these 4 vlogs, most likely. But today, you're gonna see how I approach doing vlogs. Behind the scenes of making a vlog. Or I guess 4 vlogs. It's Vlogmas. That's what they say, right? Vlogmas, for like 12 days of vlog, but it's actually a year. My brain is fried. The only thing that really sucks about doing, 4 vlogs in a day is that it's a very rigid structure, and I can't really film transitions or improv that much. Are you seeing this? It's the Death Note fountain, goddamn. So first we're doing this, which is your suggestion video. And this, actually, even though it's the first thing today, is going somewhere in the middle of the video. The thing is, I want to start from the furthest point onwards and then go towards home, I guess. Because otherwise, you're gonna keep on going back and forth, and that's pretty annoying. You don't want that. That's a lot of time just being wasted on transportation. Also, I only have until 6 p.m. today, so the time limit is a pretty strong factor here. It is 10 minutes until 10 a.m. We gotta get a move on, because the next step is a bakery in Tokyo Station, and since it is Saturday, aka one of the busiest days to be doing anything in Japan, especially food related, since you need a reservation for anything, I want to be there as it opens, so I have a better chance of actually getting in. Suggestion videos, for the most part, are easy. I just have to sift through a lot of your comments and see what stuff are there that are like around 30 minutes from each other. There are some stuff that you recommended which I still want to check out, but they're like in Ikebukuro. I don't want to go 1 hour in one direction and then come back 1 hour just for one item. That's excessive, but if I'm gonna happen to be around Ikebukuro or like at a specific time frame, I'll be sure to check those out. I'm still adding those to my map, so I'll be sure to visit them when the time comes. So they do have sweets demonstration with a cook in front of you, but the only issue is it opens at 11, even though the store opens at 10. Again, miscalculation on my part, so we have to come back here at some point. So this just shows how you have to do calculations on the road, and even the most simplest things can screw up. Next up, we're gonna head to Sushiro then to finally eat at like 10:30. Now, some of you in the comments have also shown interest in planning, like how do I approach planning, how do I manage to plan everything? And the simple answer is, I don't. I have the babysitter who helps a ton in terms of planning, scheduling, finding different locations, especially with all the prefectures, searching around those places. And without her, I wouldn't be able to do half of the stuff I'm doing because it is very time consuming. But even then, I do still spend an hour a day on just researching as well. Like most of the rides with Shinkansen, I love those because I can sit in a train ride and just plan, like the vlog, in advance for like a week. Like when I had 3 hours on a Shinkansen previously, I think I planned maybe 5 days in advance because it just takes so much time. Like for example, when you give me something to do, like bowling for example, which is fairly simple, I have to look, does Japan have bowling places? Because what I did learn is mini golf, Japan doesn't have it, like straight up doesn't have it. Tokyo has like one, I think, no, I don't even think it has one, or maybe it has one that's very shit, but it just doesn't exist here. So first of all, does it exist? Secondly, how far it is? I don't want to go like 3 hours out of my way to do some bowling. Is there stuff nearby that I can do? Then I choose the day. But is it open that day? When is it open? Do I have to reschedule my plans according to that one place? Then what can I show you about it? Like if it's just normal bowling, it's gonna be boring, but are there any interesting bowling places? Then learn the history or kind of like quickly search up some interesting facts about it. So, it would be a bit more interesting for you to watch and maybe learn something new as well. And then like, what's the price? How do you pay? Do I have to reserve it in advance? It's all just stuff that takes hours. Like this entire behind the scenes yesterday took me, I think, around 6 or 7 hours to plan, because the more you pre-plan, the less you have to do on the day. But next we're heading to Akihabara for the food video, so get yourself in gear. Also, this behind the scenes is not recorded in order as well. It's like 4 p.m. The food video happened like 6 hours ago, so oh god, this is gonna be such a fucking hassle to put together because like everything's jumbled. There's 4 videos completely intertwined from 3 different cameras. I already hate the idea of putting it together. Also, one of the reasons why I'm wearing this sweater is because I can hide the microphone in here. So it's very close to my mouth. It's like pointed up there. And as you can see, it is like perfect placement with like wind muffle. I love it. This is my new favorite sweater. I think this is a sweater, right? I don't know what clothing means.
So with the restaurant video, it took around an hour to find the smaller places where they're located, opening times. The medium place was fine since it's easy to find a place to eat for $10, so no need to research it. I found it on the spot. And the most expensive restaurant took an hour and a half to research, just because I had to re-look into websites, consult with Mailin, see if the reservation and the prices and the location.
Surprisingly, some of the easier things were the hardest to find, or I guess the cheaper things, because of my dumb restrictions that I like to put on myself, which a lot of the time, the main reason to make it harder for myself is just because it's more interesting, so I don't stick with stuff I know, but I also try to find new things. So even though I found sushi as one of the first items, I still kept on searching just in case there's something else out there that I maybe haven't tried before. And once I figure out the places, I think of the intro and the outro. Usually you don't want to do it in that order, you want to do it in reverse order. Like if you don't make a compelling intro, you don't even want to make a video because people are going to skip out if you don't have anything interesting at the beginning. But since I don't care that much about it, it doesn't matter. In this case, I feel like the intro itself was pretty neat, giving all the stakes and showing it visually even. Also, the lunch and dinner, you might have noticed yourself if you're a very keen watcher, but they were reversed. So if you look at the dinner, which was the expensive thing, you can see on the receipt that it was actually purchased at like 2 p.m. And the lunch, which was okonomiyaki, that was actually done at like 9 p.m. And the main reason to like switch it out was purely because you want the fancy stuff to be at the end. You want escalation rather than just having a random order. And since it wasn't really a challenge, there's no point in, I don't know, actually doing it all in the right order anyways. You just want to see different foods at different tiers. You know, honestly, I think it might be easier to visualize it a bit better, like all the daily schedule. So I don't know how to exactly like plan my day in a way that it all makes sense. So I'm gonna do it from midnight to midnight and the days in between. So the previous day wasn't the best. I pretty much went to sleep at 4 o'clock. So I slept until 8 a.m. Not the best, I know. And then we instantly, after waking up, started dealing with the behind the scenes, recording everything, printing out the sheets, went with your suggestions. Then we went to eat. This is absolutely very bad way to do this, because it doesn't line up at all. This is garbage. I'm still within my allotted time frame, so I should be able to finish everything in time. But what I didn't take account for is how busy Akihabara gets, like early on. It's 11 a.m. and it's still, like, I would say, as busy as it is on a normal day. And it's only gonna get busier because it's a weekend. Hate to got through, but there's one more thing to take note of, like this part here. This is also from Steins Gate, but I didn't put it in because it's very bad to angle the camera. There's no place to put the camera like with previous places. So sometimes I leave stuff out because I just can't make it work. Even though this might be pretty perfect. I feel like this could work. I think I'm gonna look back and be like, all right, yeah, this is actually pretty good. So aesthetic. Currently, just before heading home, before I get the lunch at a fancy place, I want to see if I missed anything. So I'm gonna read it out loud here. First step to anything is planning. The vlogs that you've seen already were these, but how would I approach doing
I also thought it might be interesting to show you the behind the scenes of the behind the scenes. Like how it looks like if you're just a normal person looking at someone film themselves. It's quite weird, but it's honestly gotten much easier if you do it on a daily basis. Sometimes it's still weird since there's a guy brushing his teeth in the background and looking at me, but I'm not in his way and he's not in mine, so I don't see why I shouldn't put up a good show for him and show him how a YouTube intro is made.
Alright, I'm gonna do the intro for the suggestion video right now, because I think the background is good enough. Time check. Currently, 12 a.m. Or I guess noon. 12 p.m.? I don't know how a.m. and p.m. works. Why don't you just use 12 for noon and then 24? Just use a 24-hour system, god damn it.
Also, here's some more BTS of BTS. I wore a training shirt since it's much more breathable and I was going to be running around quite a bit today. Plus, to get shots at home, I always got to move some stuff around since not everything's perfectly neat here, surprise surprise. And then also improvise on positioning the camera a bit, because taking a tripod out would take too much time, and this is way quicker. Also, how many of you thought I was standing up during this shot? Because, yeah. I have no idea what I'm gonna say in the video about the meat, because, like, I ate it. It's not worth $100, not at all, but I don't want to shit on it too much, but like, man, if I had to pay with my own money, I'd be disappointed at this point. Right now, I just feel like, all right, lunch. Yeah, lunch. Fuck, I don't have to lie to you. BTS gang.
So originally I wanted to film one of the things at Kaminarimo, like a good backdrop, you know, even if there's a bit of tourists here and it's kind of intense, but this is way too many tourists. I cannot film anything here. So that's how it ends up taking like 20 to 30 minutes to find a location, even though it seems simple, you know, I'll just put down a camera, film something. But a lot of the places just aren't that visually striking. And I kind of want to, you know, whenever I talk to you, I want to have something cool in the background. So we'll see if I can even find something better. I don't think so. Usually I spend 30 minutes finding something, then give up and lower my standards. So kind of like going to the fridge. Yeah, I gave up. Since it's a close-up shot anyways, who cares? For the keen-eyed people, I did a wardrobe change because in the morning it was like 4 degrees, now it's 16. Yeah, it's currently almost 3 p.m, 14:46, and everything's actually going according to plan, which is weird. Really weird. Aside from the fact that I look like I want to die, at least on the inside. God, I hate the donkey so much. There's like way too many people here. All right, you're gonna record me doing this dumb shit.
I found out that I'm kind of overusing the low angle a bit too much, since it's pretty easy to just put the camera down and angle it at me, since the floor is literally everywhere. But getting a higher shot isn't that easy to find. There's not any platforms to put it on, aside from vending machines, since those are literally everywhere. And they have a quite decent angle. The only downside is you can't really show that much of the background.
That's how the cookie crumbles. All in all, preparing for the entire ordeal took around 5 to 6 hours yesterday. It's not as run and gun as people might think, and it's also a bit hard to be impulsive on a lot of the things, because Japan, on one hand, I love it that you have to schedule everything in advance, you know it's gonna happen, it's very on the dot, on the time, and also it makes things harder because you can't go to specific venues because you haven't reserved it, you can't get food because you haven't reserved it, you can't go to museums because you haven't reserved them. So it can be a bit difficult at times, but the thing is, the more you plan ahead, the easier it'll be on the day of the shoot. That's about it. Wait, actually, I forgot to mention one thing about scheduling. Oh yeah, and the main reason why I have to stop at 6 p.m. is because I have an event happening. So, this is work time. Well, not these 4 hours here. This is work time. This is an event that's gonna stop everything, and you can't forget that even though I filmed 4 of these things in a row, we have to edit it all. Well, not all at once, I just have to edit one of them because I don't have any other videos going up. So, after I'm back home, we're gonna spend a couple more hours editing them. And probably the next at least 1 or 2 days is gonna be editing the rest, because again, it's 4 videos out of order on 3 different cameras, everything's out of sync. Just trying to make sense of any of the footage is gonna be a pain. So by the end of it, I imagine I'll be, again, 1 day in advance, which doesn't sound as good now. Maybe we shouldn't have asked, can we do 4 vlogs in a day, but should we? Answer is yes, you always should. It's fun. It's fun to try new things. Go out of your comfort zone, especially if it's work related. Just work more. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow with a Christmas vlog, because Christmas is upon us. Yippee. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. And now the cleanup begins, because goddamn. All right. Cleanup complete.